bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Well, I'm glad you could join us. Jeff Adachi is with us right now. He is a candidate for public defender in San Francisco, but also here to talk about Proposition B. And this is a controversial. There's two sides of this question, right? And they're vocal sides.
Yeah.
Give us a little background on the whole thing.
Well, San Francisco's going broke. We're spending almost $1 billion, Jack, on city employee pensions and benefits. You know, people have heard about the police officer last year that earned $516,000. He gets a $240,000 a year pension for the rest of his life.
Right.
What's happening is that we've promised these generous pension and health care benefits for city employees, and we can't afford it. On the health care side, we have, get this, $4 billion in health care coverage for city employees that we can't pay for. And so unless we do something, this is a train wreck that's already here. So what Prop B does is it requires all city employees, just like private sector employees, to contribute towards their pensions and towards their health care.
One of the criticisms of this system, of course, is that people can retire at 55.
Right.
For example.
Right. Well,
and continue getting benefits for what, 20 or 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, some city employees can retire at 55 with 90% of their last year's income. And see, it used to be that city employees made less, and that's why you had these pensions. But now it's just the opposite. You know, the average city employee earns $93,000 a year, not including benefits, and the average private sector employee earns $46,000. So, again, the fact that a private sector employee has to subsidize these costs for a city employee just isn't fair.
Yeah. The resistance you're getting now, the opposition, is saying it is fair.
Well, you know, obviously the union leaders that are opposing this, and they're spending, I think, what, $2 or $3 million to oppose this, don't want things to change.
Right.
How did we get in this situation to begin with? I mean, the problem is that we had these deals that were made over the years for pay wages increases that we couldn't afford, for these pension costs and health care costs that have now gone out of control. And so part of this campaign is educating the public as to what our financial situation is. If you were running a household like this, you'd be broke tomorrow. And so by voting yes on Proposition P, what people will be doing is saving services like, you know, they canceled summer school this year. I mean, you grew up in the city. You know, 10,000 kids had no summer school because they didn't have $4 million to pay for it. Well, we spent 100 times that on pension costs. We're spending 20 times more on pension and health care costs than we are fixing our streets. So the priorities are way off, and Proposition B corrects that.
What percentages are we talking about in terms of paying into it?
Well, if you're a police or fire employee, because you get a very generous benefit, you'd pay 10%, everyone else would pay 9%. In the private sector, I mean, people are lucky if they have a 401k that they're contributing 100% to. So this is still a bargain. On the healthcare side, a city employee pays $0 right now for the healthcare costs. Under Prop B, you'd pay $8 a month or $100 a year. So it's still a good deal. And again, you couldn't find anything like this in the private sector.
Okay, if you talk to someone who's working in the department, fire department, police department, et cetera, what kind of reaction have you been getting and hearing from people?
Well, you know, they're not happy. You know, they don't want to pay more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm trying to reach out to city employees and say, this is what you need to do if you want to sustain the system. What's going to happen 10 years from now when, you know, somebody retires? There's not going to be any money. What's going to happen when we run out of money and we can't pay for people's health care? It used to be until 2 years ago that you worked 5 years for the city, and then when you retired at 50, you got lifetime health benefits. Well, geez, we can't afford that. And so that's what this does. So I hope people will come to our website. It's sfsmartreform.com, read the measure and decide. 49,000 people signed a petition to put this on the ballot. And again, this is something absolutely necessary to save our city.
Yeah. One of the things that affected the whole department, and we're just about out of time, is the fact that people could move out of the city.
Right.
They used to live in the city. There was kind of a different attitude about a number of different things, including this. Jeff, nice to have you here. Okay.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Jeff Adachi's been our guest. He is a candidate for public defender and also talking about Prop B. Thanks very much for watching.